Welcome to Purr Wag, Berkshire Humane Society's award-winning cable television show. My name is John Peralt. I am the executive director and also the host of today's show. And before we introduce today's guest, I just want to have a big shout out to Baba Louie's and Panera Bread as well, but also to Patrick's Pub. So Baba Louie's and Patrick's Pub also recently did a Dine to Donate for us. They were two very successful fundraisers we had, and was all part of the Restaurant Challenge, which we'll be talking about in a few minutes with one of my guests. But I also want to let everybody know is this coming Thursday, we'll be doing a Dine and Donate at Panera Bread on Merrill Road, and that'll be from 4 to close. But in order for the shelter to benefit, you have to go online at berkshirehumane.org or stop by the shelter and pick up a certificate. You put the certificate in at the time you order, and that's how the Berkshire Humane Society benefits from that. So again, that's coming up this Thursday, 4 to close at Panera Bread. We're also, Flavors is also doing a fundraiser for us as part of the Restaurant Challenge, and that's going to be taking place at the GEAA, and that's going to be happening on Friday night the 19th. Tickets are $20. There's going to be music and hors d'oeuvres, and the full benefit of the $20 goes all to the shelter. So again, that's coming up Friday night. Starts at 7:30. Flavors at the to benefit the Berkshire Humane Society. You can always call the shelter for more information on that. And also, the Luau Holly will also be doing a Dine to Donate, and that's going to be coming up on Monday, the 22nd. The 22nd of June, and that again will be part of the Restaurant Challenge. So keep tuned. We've got some great restaurants doing some Dine to Donate, raising some money for us. And I guess now we'll introduce today's guest. And we have Diane Briggs, my assistant, and also the co-chair of the 20th annual Woofstock, our annual dog walk, and also Erin Starsja, who's the feline and small mammal supervisor. And Erin's here to talk about Adopt a Shelter Cat Month. But Diane, why don't we start off with you and talk about this year's walk? It's our 20th annual. It's Woofstock. I noticed you're wearing your shirt from 2 years ago. There'll be a new shirt this year, right?
Yes.
And it's a surprise what color and design it will be. You have to participate in order to get one of those shirts. We'll talk about that as well. Where and when is this year's Woofstock?
Okay. Woofstock is taking place on Sunday, June 28th. At the Common on 1st Street.
The renovated Commons. So
yes.
I know they've recently opened up the beginning part of the year, and it's going to be a great, great walk. How does the actually walk work? You know, how does the shelter generate funds from Woofstock?
Okay, the way we generate funds are we ask people to raise as much money as they can, ask their family, friends to donate to their sponsorship of the walk and, you know, participate with us. And that's how we get most of the money. We just ask walkers to really get out there and
get their pledges.
Hit up their friends, family. It's a great cause. It's a fun day.
And you don't even have to go out anymore and knock on any doors. You can actually go to our website.
Right. You
go to Woofstock, and it'll actually help you make your own fundraising page. And then you can just click it over to all your friends, and hopefully you can generate money without ever leaving your office or in front of your computer these days as well.
And for some people, it's easier to ask for money that way instead of going up to someone and
or they
asking.
don't have the time.
Yep.
So we're hoping this year, our goal this year is $30,000 to raise from Woofstock. It's our 20th year. Where do people pick up flyers or find out more information?
You can pick up flyers at the shelter at 214 Barker Road, down at Paradise. The local vet hospitals have them. Benson's, Bark and Cat, some of the pet businesses have them. Petco and places like that.
Yep, and all our vets. Or they can, again, that's available online as well, right?
Yes, it is.
BerkshireHumane.org. You can download your flyer.
Yep.
But we're really needing some help this year. Our goal is $30,000. It all benefits our shelter animals. And it's not only the dogs. It's a dog walk, but it's really to benefit all our shelter animals.
Correct.
We're going to start off our day with what? How's the day start off at Woofstock?
8 o'clock, the pancake breakfast. Very popular.
We won't talk all the time we get there.
That's right. We're not going to tell them that. But 8 o'clock, the pancake breakfast starts, and it runs until we run out of the pancakes or sausage, bacon, whatever. And that's really
and that's going to be underneath the pavilion, which is where, so it's pancakes at the pavilion.
Yep.
And Kathy and Al Cazzuro will be once again flipping pancakes and raising money for the shelter that way. So for all those vendors that are coming, they have a chance to eat breakfast. And for people coming early to register as well, making sure that have enough of T-shirts, so you want to get there early for that as well.
Right.
There's a great pancake breakfast. And what else is happening that day?
Oh, there's a lot going on that day.
Yes.
Two of the big things, of course, are Steve Caparizzo from WTEN Pet Connection.
Yep.
He is coming and will be our chairperson or whatever, and that should draw a lot of people to come and meet him and thank him for everything he does for the animals.
He's been doing Pet Connection now for 25 years.
Right,
and Berkshire Maine's side, he's been part of that for the 25 years. So it was tough to get Steve. He's a very busy guy, so he doesn't come to the Berkshires that often.
Nope.
This is your chance to see him at the 20th annual Woofstock. What's the other big thing that's just going to happen there that day, Di?
The other big thing that's going to happen that day is the drawing of our winning ticket for our 2015 Subaru, which is just beautiful.
2015 Subaru Outback, almost fully loaded.
Pet package.
Comes with a premium all-weather package.
Yep.
It comes with the pet package, which is the barrier between the second seat and the back of the car. Chris is throwing in a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, an automatic car starter. Total value is $31,000. We're limiting the tickets to 2,100, and I can say I'm hoping we get to 2,100, but right now it doesn't look like we're going to hit that figure. You know, it'll probably be around hopefully 1,500 when we're all said and done, which really increases someone's odds of winning. It's $40 a ticket, 3 tickets for $100, and they can just call you up at extension 131, right?
That's correct.
And you can sell them
Doing
the tickets.
a lot over the phone.
All over the phone. And this is our 3rd year, but it's a big, big fundraiser for us, and we certainly need it to be successful as well. The walk this year is what I'm really excited about, whereas we're going to, it is about a 1.5-mile walk, and I'm sure we're going to have great weather, and we're going to go down all the way down First Street and pick up Tyler back to North Street, bring North Street all the way back up to Fenn Street, coming down Fenn and around. And we have a little bit shorter of a walk if it's going to be, the weather's not going to be nice, but we know it's going to be nice.
It's going to be perfect.
So we get a great walk around Pittsfield. You know, they've renovated North Street just a couple years ago, so it's going to be a great, great walk. We're looking forward to that. But does someone need a dog to come to Woofstock?
No, actually, you do not need a dog. It's nice if you have one, but you're more than welcome to join us without a dog.
Yep.
You can, walk in honor of your cat or anything you choose, or you can just walk with us and enjoy the festivities that are going on in the food and
every year we choose a Grand Marshal.
Yes, we do.
And this year's Grand Marshal is?
This year's Grand Marshal is Max, who is a German Shepherd, about 1 year, 4 months when he came into us in August, who was too much for the family, and he is now a working dog with the Maine State Police.
Vermont, right? Vermont.
Oh, I thought it was Maine.
Vermont State. Yeah, he's working with the Vermont State Police.
Vermont State Police.
So he's going to be coming back. Not only is he going to be leading our walk as the Grand Marshal, but I believe there's going to be a demonstration as well.
He's going to do a demo with his dog, absolutely.
That is great. Beside the pancakes, we're going to have other types of food there as well?
We are going to have other food there, and we'll have a bouncy house for the kids.
Okay.
So there'll be, good food and a lot of activities and vendors.
Let's talk about the vendors for a few minutes, because they really give up their Sunday to come out. And last year we had a record number of vendors. Is it looking about the same again this year?
Yeah, I'd say we probably have about the same this year. We have a lot of different pet sitters that are coming.
Yep.
Pet supply businesses like Benson's will be there. Bark and Cat, Shamrock, which all 3 of those have a big display and answer any kind of questions. We have a couple food vendors that are coming. And of course we're going to be there. And it looks like we've got a nice variety of vendors.
We do have a nice variety of vendors. I'm really excited about the location, and the Parks Department has been very nice to us in giving us this great location, and we're certainly looking forward to it.
It is beautiful.
We'll come back in a couple more minutes, Di, with a couple more questions, but we certainly want to talk to Erin for a few minutes. Erin, June is Adopt a Shelter Cat Month, and I have to ask my first question is, why is there even such a thing as Adopt a Shelter Cat Month?
Well, it's important to remind people that shelters are a wonderful place to find a new family member. June is the beginning of the warm weather, the breeding season in the cat world, as well as other animals. And it's usually when we start to see our numbers in the shelter increase. So to help get adoptions in the forefront of people's minds and think maybe now's a good time to do it. Everybody's on summer break, the kids are home, and it helps with what would usually be a flooding season within the shelter, so to speak.
And this is nationwide, right?
Yes, absolutely. The ASPCA advertises it. Every shelter I know of does something for it.
So what's the Berkshire Humane Society going to be doing this year to celebrate Adopt a Shelter Cat Month?
Well, we're doing a number of different promotions, including price reductions on all cats 6 months and up. So all of our normal adult cats between 6 months and 6 years, we're going to drop their adoption fee down to $75 for the month. All our senior kitties, 7 years and over, are dropped down to $25. That includes all of their medical, all of their well care, their food, everything.
If they're not
that we
spayed or
normally,
neutered, that would be done,
right.
obviously.
We're still doing every detail that we normally do. All the care and love is still going into these animals. We're just making it a little easier on your wallet. Yeah. We also do a 2-for-1 buddy adoption. So any cat, again, 6 months and up, that comes in with a buddy and we want them to stay together, we're going to do their adoption fees at 2-for-1.
You know, I get a lot of questions too every now and then in regards to the buddy program, and that's that we try and promote, because I think we do believe that a cat will do better with another cat in a home. They have each other, especially a lot of people have cats. They work all day, so it's good company for them. And some people say, well, geez, you know what? It's twice as much, and that's something during the adoption process we tell them. You know, the buddy program is great, but it does cost a lot to own a kitty.
Right, you're still looking at long-term maintenance and care for 2 cats, so you have to factor that in. So it's wonderful to get that upfront savings a little bit, but you always want to keep in mind that you're still feeding 2 mouths, 2 vet bills, 2 sets of attention from you as well, not just the monetary, but they need their own individual attention as well.
That's right. So the average cost of owning a healthy cat, because we do know if your cat isn't healthy that the cost can really get up there. But the average healthy adult cat, let's start with adult, because I know kittens are going to be a little bit more. They need a little bit more vaccines. About what type of cost should someone be looking at for that year?
The average cat's going to cost you roughly $700 to $1,000 a year when you factor everything in, between vet bills, your food, your toys,
your cat litter,
and all the maintenance there within.
Yep. So it's about so if someone gets 2 cats, it's going to be twice that.
Right.
So, and again, I think I want everybody out there to know is during the adoption process, like Erin was talking about earlier, is that's something that we talk about. We're not pushing 2 cats on everybody. We're letting people know that they do well together. If there's something you could afford, that would work out well. Can you explain the adoption process a little bit to our viewers about, you know, if someone's interested in an animal, what happens? They come in the building. Can you take me from there?
Yeah, most people just want to start by looking around, getting an idea of what we have available. We're going to talk to you. We want to know what you're looking for. Our goal is to find the right match for you and the cat. So depending on what your needs are, what your expectations out of this new companion are, we're going to try to bring you to a cat that's going to match that. We do have an application that we ask you to fill out, but it's basically just the questions we talk about. It's just a little more of the... but, you know, you meet the cat, spend time with them. We'll give you all the information that we know on the cat, any background from previous owners that we have. We're going to share that with you so that you know what you're getting into. And if it's the right cat, then we move ahead with the adoption. And if it's not, then maybe we try to find another one for you.
Okay. And can you explain a little bit about what's included, the normal prices, and what's really included in that adoption?
Right. So normally our adult cats are $100. Like I said, for the month of June, they'll be $75. But we do spay and neuter of any cat that needs it, as well as any medical that we see up front, vaccines, flea and worming, microchipping, ear cleanings. But we also provide you with a food sample that they're using. We give you some stuff that makes them feel comfortable from their cage, their blankets, toys, and we're always there to provide help for you, whether it's the next day or 10 years down the road. You can always give us a call.
Yep, and I think one of the biggest things is that we're always responsible for this pet, even though we may place it with someone for the lifetime of that animal, not just when it walks out the door. So if there is a reason someone cannot keep an animal, doesn't matter the age.
Right. Give us a call. We care about that cat. We're going to make sure that we can do everything we can. We'll take it
Now,
back.
we've got some interesting things going on at the shelter at the moment, because at the moment You know, we're into June now. We're in June, and normally Erin's cleaning 110 plus cats a day. At the moment, we don't have 110 plus cats.
No, we don't. Our numbers are sticking pretty low. We haven't seen that influx yet this year that we normally do. It's been pushed back a little bit. So,
do you think, Erin? I know you've done for 2 years in a row 100 cats at Christmas, and every year, the last 2 years, it's 111, 115, or whatever the numbers were the last 2 years, that we fixed that many cats in one day.
Yes.
That has got to be making an impact the following spring over the last couple of years.
I believe it absolutely is. And you combine that with our long-standing SNP program that we've been running for many years. I think a lot of our spaying and neutering efforts are starting to pay off, and I think we're seeing the results.
We're seeing the results. And I think the one thing the viewers out there should realize is the end result is if there's less competition within the shelter for homes, the chances of those cats finding homes greatly increase.
Yes.
And I know you and I were talking about this morning, sometimes when you're looking at 15 cats available for adoption, it's much easier to make a choice than if you're looking at 70 or 80 cats.
Absolutely.
So ultimately, the cats are the winners in all of this as well. So beside your staff.
Yes.
beside the staff too. So the population thing is something that is changing a little bit as well. Now, before I ask you a little bit more about some other cats available for adoption, you brought a friend with you today.
I did, and he has been purring up a storm in here. I think he...
And this
see if
guy,
he wants to come out and say hi.
This little man has an interesting story, and I think it's something we want to share with our viewers as well. And I think it's a lesson that people need to learn.
Yes.
But one morning, many weeks ago, I believe one of the staff members showed up to work, and there was a Tupperware tub sealed.
Yes, completely sealed.
In the front lobby, and
by the entryway door,
by the entry of the door,
outside,
so it was outside. And when the Tupperware tub was opened, what did we find?
We found 6 kittens, 2 different litters. There were 2 different age groups. This little guy, who is like sleeping, doesn't want to come out, he's like, what's going on? Was one of them. They were overheated. They were
because
dehydrated.
there was no air.
Right. And they were scared.
And they were it was very hot in there.
Yes, it got very, very warm.
And there's a lot of moisture, so they ended up being wet.
Condensation all over the inside. So they...
And what the lesson here is that we don't charge anybody to surrender an animal. But we do ask, you know what, if your goal is for us to help find this animal a home, that they realize that they should come in during operating hours, give us as much information about the animals as possible, which would certainly help.
Right. And you're also not risking the animal at that point.
Because these animals were at risk.
Yes.
And it was during the time it was actually very, very warm out as well. Yeah. During our warm spell. So this guy is doing really well right now.
He's doing fantastic. He is. He's been adopted along with all of his 5 brothers and sisters. He's getting neutered tomorrow, and then he'll be able to go into his forever home. But they all pulled through very, very well. And they were very nice kittens. So all it would have taken is just somebody to say, you know, we understand you have a cat who gives birth. It's a lot to handle.
And the other thing is we could also help with the spaying and neutering of moms so this doesn't happen again.
Right.
So for all our viewers out there, please, if for some reason you do have to surrender an animal, please wait to our operating hours where a staff member can assist you. Ultimately, it's much better for the cat in the long run. So this is a happy ending that could have, depending on when those cats were left there and the temperatures might have a little bit different. Maybe in the summertime we might have had a different result, which would not have been good. So what's this little guy's name?
This is Reed. Reed is a snuggly, sweet little boy. Let me tell you, I fell in love with him from day one. They were all great, but he's a nice, special baby.
And I think one of the other things that happens during the adoption process, Erin, if you can talk a little bit about, is that, and I see it every week, you're getting more and more people coming in for nail trims. Yes. Can you explain why and what's that all about?
Well, we try to educate people, and I think that they are learning that by trimming your kitty's nails, and a lot of people aren't comfortable with it, so we will always do it for you. We do ask for a $10 donation to help support the shelter, but it reduces a lot of unwanted scratching within your home, so they're not going after your furniture as much. We can also teach you how to get rid of any other scratching. It's keeps them healthier. It keeps their nails pulled back so they're not overgrowing. They're not uncomfortable to walk.
But you have regular customers now.
Yeah, we get people who come in every 4, 5, 6 weeks.
That's
You
a
call
$10
up, we know
donation.
them by name. They come in, they're regulars of ours. They go, "Oh, hey, Erin, how you doing? Willie's here to say hi again."
Yep.
And,
And that actually works really, really well.
Yes. Yep. Getting kisses.
What else do we? We've got to have some. Do we have some older kitties in the shelter in need of homes?
We do. I have an 8-year-old, beautiful, beautiful girl. She is a Siamese muted calico mix. Her name is Nala. She's actually with us because she couldn't adjust to the child in the home. She spent the first 6 years of her life not knowing what children were, never exposed. So when a child entered the home, it really caught her off guard, and I don't think she really learned how to figure that out. So she's a very sweet girl, beautiful blue eyes. She just wants to live without kids because that's all she ever knew. I also have Baby, who's 4.5, very nice girl. She's a tiger, short hair with some white. But Baby has to either be the only kitty or go to a home with a cat that's already AIDS positive because she has AIDS herself. So that's not going to...
Which a cat can live for a very, very long time.
Right. So she's very healthy. She's doing very well. We just don't want to risk passing that to another cat. If
and that's
it's not
something that can't be transmitted to humans as well, so people should realize that.
It's difficult to transmit, and it's right. You cannot.
Transmit
it's not
to
zoonotic,
people.
right?
So I mean that's. But you know what? You have another special kitty that if you don't talk about, I think Diane would be upset with. But in the shelter.
Who would you like me to talk about, darling?
He's pure white.
Oh, Mr. Cotton.
Mr. Cotton, who's deaf, right?
Mr. Cotton is deaf, yes. Mr. Cotton actually came to us as a baby. They were not able to keep him. He is 4, I believe, as well. He's got blue eyes, and genetically speaking, a solid white cat with blue eyes just has recessive genes, so they have an 80% chance of being deaf. He has been deaf since birth, so it's all he knows, so he doesn't have to overcompensate for anything. However, it does make his talking quite loud. He is also declawed in the front, and he's not a fan of other kitty cats, so he wants to be the only cat, and he absolutely must stay indoors.
No, and he's very affectionate,
But
right?
he's very, very affectionate, loves attention, and will call for you nonstop until you give it to him.
I do. If we didn't talk about Cotton, I would have been in trouble with Diane. So, all right. Erin, if anybody wants to get a hold of you at the shelter, ask you anything about Cotton or Nala or anything else, how do they get a hold of you at the shelter?
They can call me at 447-7878, extension 124. Or I'm there most of the time. We're open Tuesday through Saturday.
And you have from time to time some other type of animals available for adoption. At the moment, you have many mice, right?
I do have many mice. I had a mom and a dad give birth to 6 babies, 3 girls, 3 boys. All of them are there and available and ready to go home. They're very, very sweet. They're funny to watch. Dad,
and they're growing up at the shelter.
They are growing up, so they'd love
Dad's on that wheel like 24/7.
Dad loves his wheel. He is such a riot. He is so sweet. So, but yep, they're growing up and they'd love to go home.
All right, that would be great. Di, let's get back to the dog walk for a minute because I know we talked about a lot of different things going on that day, but still I think beside the car drawing, which is hopefully by the time we film next month, someone's going to be driving around a brand new 2015
and hopefully
Subaru
the person's
Outback.
there.
But also, there's for people that get pledges and raise money, there's prizes that go along with that as well.
Right.
And probably the biggest prize this year is what do they have to do in order to have a private luncheon with the Steve Caparizzo?
Okay, to have that private lunch with Steve at the shelter, each walker, we're asking them to raise $500, at least $500 to have the private luncheon with Steve.
So anybody that raises $500, whether you're a team member or an individual, if you can raise $500, you're going to be invited back to an all-expenses-paid luncheon with Steve. And I'm telling you,
his schedule,
Steve's been doing this, his Pet Connection, for 25 years. He's got lots of great stories. Very compassionate man. He believes in what he does. And that's going to be one very special luncheon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It will be. So get out there and raise your $500 and have a nice lunch with Steve.
That's right. that will certainly help.
I think so.
And also we've got some canine games, so if people go there that day, we have different activities that they can do with their dog following the walk.
Right.
Walk begins at 11.
Yes.
Right? Walk will be over by noontime. We're into the canine games.
Yep.
So there's things like musical sits and downs. There's best pet trick. There's all sorts of different games that you could do. Your dog doesn't have to be an obedience-trained dog to participate in these games
regular
as well.
family dog can participate, and it's just fun for everybody. We'll have our raffle, of course, with a lot of nice
Yes, we have a
items.
select raffle with a lot of great prizes that Erin's mother wins most of.
Most of the time. And then we've got CGI and TDI, therapy dog testing that day too.
Yep.
And that information's on the website because you have to make your
Right.
call.
So if people have more questions about the dog walk, how can they reach you, Diane?
Oh, they can call me if they want, 447-7878, extension 131. They can always go to the website. There's a lot of information there. And, gladly answer any questions.
Okay. Well, thank you both for coming
You're
on
welcome.
today. And again, the dog walk is just not about dogs, that's for sure. So thank you, Erin and Diane. And before we go, Lizzie, our humane educator, Lizzie Brown, wanted to remind everybody out there, she's not here today because it's her birthday. So happy birthday, Lizzie. And she would be upset with me if I didn't let you got all the viewers out there know that she still has openings for her summer camp program for children entering grades 6 through 8. So if you want to have your child have a great experience and they're going to be entering grades 6 through 8, you want to give Lizzie a call at the shelter, 447-7878. She still has a few slots open and there's still some scholarships available. So I again want to thank our entire crew for doing such a great job, and hopefully everybody will tune in next month. And next month, I believe we're going to ask Stacy Carver, president of Animal Dreams, to come on. We've got a big announcement we'll be talking about in regards to spaying and neutering. So from Purr Wag Adopt and everybody and all our volunteers, thanks for watching.